Dhaka. Just saying the name makes me smile. It's a city that buzzes with an energy unlike any other place I've visited. People often ask me what makes a destination truly special. For me, it's the feeling you get when you arrive, the way a place welcomes you. Dhaka doesn't just welcome you, it pulls you into its vibrant heart. It's a city of incredible history, amazing people, and flavors that dance on your tongue. I knew before I even stepped off the plane that this was going to be an adventure, a journey into a culture rich with stories waiting to be discovered. And oh, the stories it told. Many people might think of big famous cities when they plan a trip, but sometimes the most rewarding journeys are to places a little less known on the global tourist map. Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, is one of those hidden gems. It's a place where ancient traditions live alongside modern life. You can see rickshaws, brightly painted and jingling, sharing roads with newer cars. This mix is what makes Dhaka so fascinating. It's a city that is constantly moving, constantly changing, yet it holds on to its soul. It's a place that promises an authentic experience far from the usual tourist trails, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Why Dhaka, you might ask? I was drawn by tales of its legendary hospitality. I heard about the warmth of its people, their resilience, and their incredible smiles. I wanted to see the historical sites that whisper stories of Mughal emperors and British colonial times. I longed to taste the street food, famous for its bold and delicious flavors. And most importantly, I wanted to connect with the local culture, to understand a little bit more about this dynamic corner of the world. Every trip is a chance to learn, and Dhaka felt like a university of life, ready to teach its most vibrant lessons. So I packed my bags with an open heart and an adventurous spirit, ready for whatever Dhaka had in store for me. I was excited about the idea of getting lost in its markets, of cruising down its rivers, and of simply sitting and watching the world go by. This city is not just a collection of buildings and streets, it's a living, breathing organism. It's a place where every corner has a story, every face has a smile, and every meal is a celebration. Join me as I share my 3-day whirlwind adventure in this captivating city. It was truly a place to love. Landing at Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport, I felt that familiar thrill of arrival. The air was warm, and even inside the airport there was a hum of activity. Getting through immigration was smooth, and the officials were polite, offering a welcoming nod. My first real taste of Dhaka was the ride from the airport to my hotel. Wow. The city immediately presented itself as a place of incredible energy. The streets were a kaleidoscope of sights and sounds. Cars, buses, auto rickshaws, we call them CNGs here, and cycle rickshaws all moved together in a kind of organized chaos that was mesmerizing to watch. It was like a giant, flowing river of people and vehicles. My hotel was in the Gulshan area, known for its embassies and slightly calmer streets, but even here, the pulse of Dhaka was undeniable. After settling in, I couldn't wait to just step outside and breathe it all in. My first walk was a sensory overload in the best possible way. The scent of street food cooking, the calls of vendors, the chatter of people, the bright colors of clothing, it was all so alive. I noticed how incredibly friendly everyone seemed. People would smile, and some would even say hello or ask where I was from. This immediate warmth made me feel instantly comfortable, like I was among friends. One of the first things that struck me about Dhaka was the sheer number of people. It's one of the most densely populated cities in the world, and you can feel that energy. But it wasn't overwhelming. Instead, it felt like being part of a huge, bustling family. Everywhere I looked, there was life happening. Children playing, people heading to work, friends chatting at tea stalls. It was a reminder that cities are, above all, about people. And the people of Dhaka seemed to have a special kind of resilience and spirit that shone through everything. This city was already starting to capture my heart. My initial impressions were of a city of fascinating contrasts. I saw modern buildings rising next to older, more traditional structures. I saw people dressed in contemporary Western clothes alongside those in beautiful traditional saris and lungis. This blend of old and new, traditional and modern, is what gives Dhaka its unique character. It's not trying to be like any other city, it's proudly itself. I knew right away that exploring Dhaka would be about embracing these contrasts and discovering the beauty in its complex, vibrant identity. My adventure had truly begun, and I was eager for more. My first full day in Dhaka started with a journey back in time. I headed to Lal Bagh Fort, an incomplete Mughal fort complex from the 17th century. Even getting there was an adventure. I took a CNG, an auto rickshaw, and zipped through the morning traffic. The driver was so cheerful, pointing out landmarks along the way. Arriving at Lalbagh, I was immediately struck by its imposing red sandstone gates. It felt like stepping onto the set of a historical movie. The air was quieter here, a peaceful escape from the city's usual hustle and bustle. It was a perfect place to start understanding Dhaka's rich past. Inside the fort, I wandered through the well-maintained gardens. The green lawns and blooming flowers were a beautiful contrast to the ancient brickwork. I visited the tomb of Pari Bibi, the daughter of a Mughal governor. The tomb itself is a stunning piece of architecture with white marble and intricate designs. Local families were also visiting, enjoying the morning sunshine and the historic atmosphere. It was wonderful to see people connecting with their heritage in such a direct way. I imagined what life must have been like here centuries ago, with Mughal princes and princesses walking these very grounds. I also explored the audience hall and the mosque within the fort complex. The audience hall, though unfinished, still holds a sense of grandeur. You can almost hear the echoes of past discussions and royal decrees. The mosque is still in use, and its simple elegance was very moving. I spent a good couple of hours just soaking it all in, taking photos and trying to absorb the history. What I loved most was that Lalbagh Fort isn't just a museum piece, it feels alive. It's a place where history breathes, and you can feel its presence all around you. One lovely moment was when a group of school children, on a field trip, shyly approached me to practice their English. They asked me where I was from and if I was enjoying Dhaka. Their curiosity and bright smiles were so heartwarming. It was a small interaction, but it reminded me that history isn't just about old buildings. It's about the people who carry those stories forward. Leaving Lalbagh Fort, I felt like I had a better understanding of Dhaka's roots, and I was even more excited to see what other historical treasures the city held. After a delicious local lunch of rice and fish curry near Lalbagh, my historical exploration continued. My next stop was Ahsan Manzil, also known as the Pink Palace. This magnificent building stands right on the banks of the Buriganga River. It was once the official residential palace of the Nawab of Dhaka. As I approached, its distinctive pink color and grand architecture were truly breathtaking. It looked like something out of a fairy tale, a vibrant splash of color against the bustling backdrop of the riverfront. I couldn't wait to step inside and discover its secrets. The palace is now a museum, and it's beautifully preserved. Walking through its many rooms, I saw photographs, furniture, and artifacts that told the story of the Nawabs and their lifestyle. The grand ballroom with its high ceilings and chandeliers was particularly impressive. I could almost imagine elegant parties and important meetings taking place there. From the balconies, I had stunning views of the Buriganga River. The river itself is a hive of activity, with boats of all sizes ferrying people and goods. It's like the lifeblood of the city, and seeing it from the palace gave me a new perspective. The riverside area around Ahsan Manzil was fascinating. It's called Sadargat, and it's one of the largest river ports in the world. The energy here was incredible. Ferries were docking and departing, vendors were selling everything imaginable, and people were constantly on the move. I took a few moments to just stand and watch the organized chaos. It was a symphony of sounds, boat horns, vendors' calls, and the general hum of commerce. It felt like the very heart of old Dhaka, a place where the city's commercial and social life converged in a vibrant, dynamic way. A truly memorable part of the afternoon was taking a short boat ride on the Buriganga. My boatman, a friendly older gentleman, skillfully navigated through the busy waterway. From the boat, I got a different view of Ahsan Manzil, rising majestically from the riverbank. I also saw the everyday life unfolding along the river, people bathing, washing clothes, and loading goods onto boats. It was a powerful reminder of how central the river is to the lives of so many people in Dhaka. The setting sun cast a golden glow over the water, making the scene even more magical. Day one was drawing to a close, and it had been an incredible immersion into Dhaka's history and vibrant river life. Day 2 in Dhaka was all about diving into the city's vibrant markets and, of course, its incredible food scene. I started my morning with a trip to New Market. Now, the name New Market is a bit funny because it's actually one of the oldest and most traditional markets in the city. It's a sprawling complex of shops and stalls, and believe me, you can find almost anything here. From the moment I stepped in, I was swept up in a whirlwind of activity. The colors, the sounds, the smells. It was an assault on the senses in the most wonderful way. Navigating New Market is an adventure in itself. It's a labyrinth of narrow alleyways, each one packed with treasures. I saw shops selling colorful textiles, beautiful saris, intricate jewelry, spices, books, household goods, and so much more. The vendors were all calling out, eager to show me their wares. I loved the friendly bargaining. It's all part of the experience, a playful exchange that often ends with smiles on both sides. I bought a beautiful hand-embroidered shawl and some fragrant spices to take home. The quality and craftsmanship were just fantastic. What I really enjoyed about Newmarket was watching the local people go about their daily shopping. Families were out together, friends were browsing, and everyone seemed to be enjoying the lively atmosphere. It wasn't just a place to buy things, it was a social hub, a place where the community came together. I stopped at a small tea stall inside the market and had a cup of delicious, milky cha. Sipping my tea, I just watched the world go by. It was a fantastic way to soak in the local culture and feel like a part of the city's daily rhythm. One fun encounter I had was with a shopkeeper selling traditional pottery. He was so passionate about his craft and took the time to explain the different types of clay and firing techniques. He even let me try my hand at painting a small clay pot. I wasn't very good at it, but we both had a good laugh. It's these little moments of connection that make travel so special. Newmarket wasn't just a shopping trip, it was an immersion into the heart of Dhaka's commercial and social life. It was loud, it was chaotic, but it was utterly captivating and full of life. Section 6, Day 2 Afternoon. A symphony of street food flavors. After the sensory explosion of Newmarket, it was time for another Dhaka specialty street food. Oh, the street food in Dhaka is legendary, and I was ready to taste it all. For lunch, I didn't go to a fancy restaurant. Instead, I headed to a bustling street food area that my local guide, a friendly young man named Rahim, recommended. The air was thick with the most amazing aromas, spices sizzling, bread baking, sweets frying. My stomach was rumbling in anticipation. This was going to be a culinary adventure, and I couldn't wait to begin. First up was fuchka, a popular Bangladeshi snack. These are crispy, hollow dough balls filled with a spicy mixture of mashed potatoes, chickpeas, onions, and tamarind water. The vendor assembled them right in front of me with lightning speed. Popping one into my mouth was an explosion of flavors, spicy, tangy, savory, and crunchy all at once. It was absolutely delicious and incredibly addictive. Next, I tried some halmuri, a puffed rice snack mixed with spices, vegetables, and mustard oil, served in a paper cone. It was light, crunchy, and packed a flavorful punch. Rahim then led me to a stall selling biryani. Dhaka is famous for its kachi biryani, where marinated meat and rice are cooked together slowly. The aroma alone was heavenly. We got a plate to share, and it was divine. The rice was fragrant, the meat was tender, and the spices were perfectly balanced. It was a hearty and satisfying meal, enjoyed right there on the street, watching the city buzz around us. We also tried some fresh sugarcane juice, squeezed right before our eyes. It was so refreshing and a perfect palate cleanser after the spicy food. The best part about Dhaka's street food culture is not just the taste, but the experience. Eating alongside locals, chatting with the vendors, and feeling the vibrant energy of the street, it's all part of what makes it so special. The vendors take such pride in their food, and their passion is infectious. I also tried some traditional Bengali sweets like rasgulla and sandesh from a street-side cart. They were incredibly sweet and delicious, a perfect end to my street food feast. My afternoon was a true symphony of flavors, a delicious journey through the heart of Dhaka's culinary soul. Section 7, Day 3, Morning, University of Dhaka and Local Encounters. My third and final day in Dhaka began with a visit to a place that is not just an educational institution, but also a significant historical and cultural landmark, the University of Dhaka. Often called the Oxford of the East, this university has played a crucial role in the history of Bangladesh, especially during the language movement and the Liberation War. Walking through its sprawling campus, with its impressive colonial-era buildings and lush green lawns, I felt a sense of peace and intellectual energy. It was a refreshing contrast to the more chaotic parts of the city. I visited the Curzon Hall, an architectural marvel with its striking red brick facade and a blend of European and Mughal design elements. It's one of the university's most iconic buildings. Students were milling about, chatting, studying under trees, or heading to classes. There was a youthful vibrancy in the air. I also spent some time near the Aparajeo Bangla sculpture, a powerful monument dedicated to the freedom fighters of the 1971 Liberation War. It was a poignant reminder of the country's struggle for independence and the spirit of its people. One of the highlights of my morning was interacting with some of the students. A group of them, seeing me with my camera, struck up a conversation. They were curious about my travels and eager to share insights about their city and country. We talked about everything from their studies to their favorite places in Dhaka, and even global politics. Their intelligence, warmth, and optimism were truly inspiring. They recommended a small local tea stall on campus, famous for its adda, a Bengali term for lively, informal conversations. Sharing tea and stories with them was a genuine, heartwarming experience. This encounter really underscored what I love most about traveling, connecting with local people. It's in these unscripted moments that you gain the deepest understanding of a place. The students' pride in their university and their country was palpable. They gave me a list of contemporary Bengali authors to read and some musicians to listen to, eager for me to experience more of their culture. Leaving the university campus, I felt enriched not just by the history and architecture, but more so by the warmth and openness of the young people I met. It was a beautiful start to my last day in this incredible city. Section 8, Day 3, Afternoon, Hidden Gems and Artisan Crafts. For my final afternoon in Dhaka, I wanted to explore some of the city's lesser-known spots and perhaps find some unique artisan crafts. Rahim, my wonderful guide, suggested we visit Shankari Bazaar in Old Dhaka. This narrow lane is one of the oldest areas in the city, predominantly inhabited by Hindu artisans, particularly conch shell Shanka craftsmen. Walking down this street was like stepping into another era. The buildings are very old, many of them intricately decorated, though time has certainly left its mark. The atmosphere was bustling, yet it felt distinct from other markets. The main craft here, as the name suggests, is working with conch shells. I saw artisans meticulously carving and polishing these shells to create beautiful white bangles, which are traditionally worn by married Hindu women. The skill and precision involved were incredible. Shop fronts were adorned with these gleaming white bangles, as well as other religious items, statues of deities, and colorful decorations used for pujas, worship. I watched one craftsman at his work, his hands moving with an expertise passed down through generations. He kindly explained the process, showing me the raw shells and the tools he used. Beyond the conch shell crafts, Shankari Bazaar is also known for its vibrant kites and traditional musical instruments. I saw shops filled with colorful paper kites of all shapes and sizes, a reminder of the popular pastime of kite flying in Dhaka. The musical instrument shops had sitars, tablas, and other traditional instruments, their polished wood gleaming. I even bought a small, beautifully painted clay doll, a traditional Bengali folk art piece, as a souvenir. The artisans were welcoming and happy to share their stories and their craft, making the experience very personal and engaging. My visit to Shankari Bazaar was a fascinating glimpse into a community that has preserved its traditions and skills for centuries. It felt like a hidden gem, a pocket of old Dhaka that retains a unique cultural identity. It wasn't just about shopping, it was about witnessing living heritage. As the afternoon light began to fade, casting long shadows down the narrow lane, I felt a deep appreciation for the city's rich tapestry of cultures and crafts. This little corner of Dhaka, with its ancient traditions and skilled artisans, provided a perfect, soulful end to my explorations before preparing for my departure. Section 9. Conclusion: Dhaka's Enduring Embrace. As my 3-day adventure in Dhaka came to an end, I found myself reflecting on the whirlwind of experiences. This city, with its incredible energy and vibrant spirit, had completely captivated me. From the moment I arrived, I was met with warmth and curiosity. Dhaka is not a city that reveals itself all at once. It's a place you discover layer by layer through its bustling streets, its ancient history, its delicious food, and most importantly, through its amazing people. It's a city that challenges your perceptions and rewards you with unforgettable memories. What I'll carry with me most are the smiles of the people I met. The friendly CNG driver, the cheerful students at Dhaka University, the proud street food vendors, the skilled artisans in Shankari Bazaar. Each encounter added a special touch to my journey. There's a resilience and a joy in the people of Dhaka that is truly inspiring. Despite the challenges of a mega city, there's an overwhelming sense of community and hospitality. I felt welcomed everywhere I went, and that's a feeling that makes any trip truly special. It's the people who make Dhaka a place you want to love. Dhaka taught me to embrace the chaos, to find beauty in the unexpected, and to appreciate the richness of a culture that is both ancient and constantly evolving. The historical sites like Lalbagh Fort and Asan Manzil told stories of a grand past, while the vibrant markets and bustling streets showed me a city thrumming with modern life. And the food. Oh, the flavors of Dhaka will linger in my memory for a long, long time. From spicy fuchka to delectable biryani, every bite was a celebration. This city truly engages all your senses. Would I recommend a trip to Dhaka? Absolutely, without a doubt. If you're looking for an authentic travel experience, a journey that will open your eyes and your heart, then Dhaka is waiting for you. It's a city that might seem intense at first, but if you dive in with an open mind, you'll discover its incredible charm and its enduring embrace. My 3 days felt too short, and I know there's so much more to explore. Dhaka, you surprised me, you delighted me, and you definitely found a special place in my heart. Until we meet again.